Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Songs of Faith Sunday. My name is Chris Wilson. So happy you decided to join us this evening. Hopefully, we will be out of the woods with our technical difficulties that we had on Thursday. But without any further ado, I'd love to introduce you to my beautiful wife, Carrie.
Hello.
Who continues to be shrouded in mystery up in the production loft.
Yeah. And everything looks good so far.
Okay, that's good.
So,
Well, it's been an interesting week. Personally, globally, our hearts are absolutely with the people of the Ukraine and in Russia as well. The innocent people who sort of get involved and mixed up in all of this
yep.
junk that our politicians create. And you know, these are difficult things to navigate sometimes, and so I always find that I'm becoming less and less likely to trust various outlets and institutions and authorities, and I find myself increasingly more sort of pushed to just put my faith in God.
Yeah.
And He will sort of steer the ship. And so that's how we sort of are, sort of taking on this crisis, is just thinking to ourselves, the world is getting increasingly crazy, and we all know it, we all feel it, even when we don't even know the specifics of it, we feel it. And so I thought tonight I would start off singing. What am I going to sing? We had some wonderful requests. I also wanted to speak to my friend David, who requested that I sing "You'll Never Walk Alone," but I didn't have the ability to put that song together in time. So my apologies. So I was trying to think, well, what sort of fills in that same space? And this is the song that came to mind to start with tonight. When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. Oh, I'm on your side. Oh, when times get rough and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down. Down and out, when you're on the street, when evening falls so hard, I will comfort you. Ooh, I'll take your part. Oh, when darkness comes and pain is all, it's all around like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down. And sail on, silver girl, sail on by. Your time has come to shine. All your dreams are on their way. See how they shine. Oh, and if you need a friend, I'm sailing right behind. Oh, just like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind. I will ease, yes, I will ease your mind. Such a great song. Happened to be watching. I mean, I know quite a lot about Paul Simon. He was always been my favorite. My favorite composer. And I just happened to be watching a video yesterday where he was talking about writing that song, and he said one moment it was not there, and the next moment it was, and he said he had no idea where it came from. And I think I've said that on this show before, that of course we all know where it came from.
Yeah.
But one amusing anecdote that he says in that same clip is, he said somebody asked him what was he thinking when that happened, and he said, what I was thinking was, this is considerably better than what I usually do. And I thought, what an interesting, for as many songs as he's written, and at that time he had already written so many hits already,
right,
that for him to say that, or to think that even, he sort of had that look of surprise and shock on his face, like, that's really good, And it's also, as a songwriter, I always know, like, those moments when you write something that, they don't happen a lot, but when they do happen, like these moments where you write something that's so good that you didn't write it.
Right.
The Lord has given me a few of those moments, and they're so special. The knowledge that you sort of tuned into His voice somehow, and you get to then walk with that language for the rest of your life. To know that that was a little card He gave you. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we dedicate that song to just everybody who is suffering tonight, everybody in Ukraine and the people of Russia who, it would seem to me, did not want this war or, and are probably suffering because, I keep hearing reports that thousands of Russian soldiers are dying. And, I think most of these soldiers probably went over there. You just sort of believe your politicians and you go where they tell you to go.
Yep.
And if I had to guess, I would say that very few of them wanted this. So, these things are very, very complicated. Enemies. That word is a very complicated word. Because, if you sort of center yourself on God's love, that enemies list grows smaller and smaller and smaller until you have trouble defining what that even means anymore, because the truth is you're supposed to find a way to love that person. Sort of takes that word off the table. I remember when I was a little boy, my mom saying to me, I think I've told this on the show before because we've done like 200 shows now. So
there's a good chance you've heard this
Chances
story.
are you've heard everything that I have to say. But I can remember having a fight with my brother about something foolish, I'm sure. And I said, I hate him. And my mom I don't even know if she was nearby or whatever, but she snapped back. And she pulled me right out of that moment. She said, never say that. And I was so mad. She's like, you never say that.
Yeah.
She said, hate is not, I not exactly remember what she said specifically, but I remember the intention of it perfectly, which was, hate is something different, and it should not be taken lightly. And the truth is, we should almost never even know what that feels like.
Yeah. Well, for as much power as love has,
Exactly.
hate also has that negative power.
And in fact, that was something that I was thinking about when I wrote this next song. I didn't mean that as a transition, but it sort of works. I wrote this song sort of after another moment of sort of national, that caused like worldwide pause. And this song sort of came out of that moment for me. It's called Just Like Yours. Where did it begin? You're out and I'm in. Must be some other place that I've never been. Oh, oh, oh. You hear all the time. That's yours, this is mine. But look from above, who's drawing that line? Oh, oh, oh. 'Cause these hands will is what's right. The day or the night. No place could be real where that is a fight. Oh, oh, oh. He blocked out the sun. She went for a run. We thought one looked like two, and two is just one. Oh, oh, oh. 'Cause these hands will shake when a knee hits the floor, and this heart will break, just like yours, just like yours. With every heartbreak, a silent song plays, another voice raised, the choir sings your song. Oh, cause these hands will shake when a face hits the ground, and this heart will break without a sound. I always have to hold for a minute when I finish that song, because
Yeah.
it just sort of, my first instinct is to start instantly sort of just yapping to sort of break up the awkward silence. So I guess that's the theme for tonight, is just sort of just loving each other, you know? You know, what do you trust when you don't know what to trust? You trust God.
Yeah.
Because if you're like me, you've never regretted trusting him. Never. I imagine there's few people in the world who've uttered the phrase, "Boy, I wish I hadn't have trusted God."
Right. That's true. It's a good point.
So, you know, and I find that with me, and maybe it's the same with you, is that he reveals the moments. You know, you always want to do something. When something's wrong, you want to do something. You know, and sort of an unofficial theme song of this show has been "Stand Still." Stand still and let God move. It doesn't mean don't do anything. It means stand still, whether that means physically or spiritually, you know, emotionally, mentally. Stand still for a moment. Let him lead.
Yeah.
Do the thing that he wants you to do. Because if you're quiet enough, he'll tell you. That's the challenge. That's the challenge that all of us humans face every day. How do we quiet the noise in our head? How do we quiet the chaos in our life such that we can hear him? And how can we do that often enough that we come to know the sound of his voice so well
Yeah.
that when we do find ourselves in a moment of chaos, you can see through it. You can see him. You know, you can see him through this forest of stuff that's trying to distract you and steer you away. You know his voice so well at that point. So that's been, I don't know, that's been my personal goal in these last years. These last couple of years have been so insane for so many reasons that, where else was there to go? I mean, literally, you couldn't go out, you couldn't go to places,
Yeah, right.
you couldn't, so.
Well, and for as shut in as we were, everything also seemed much louder. Social media and the world
Right.
seemed to sort of, I don't know, the volume sort of raised. I know you and I spoke about that. Like, even though we were sort of, locked away 2020, everything felt so loud. And we felt the need to sort of retreat a little bit and just wait to hear his voice. And I think now that is true as well. As the world sort of takes on whatever it takes on, I think it's always important. That's always a reminder to step back for a minute and listen for the voice that is familiar to us.
Yeah. I don't know. There's this signature. I always describe it as a signature knowing. I think so many of us, as we've walked with faith for however long we've been doing that, one of the biggest things, crossroads it always comes to, is this his voice or is it my voice?
Yeah.
That's the, is there a thing that, is he trying to prevent me from doing something? Or is that the voice of the other side that I should try to overcome in order to do that thing?
Yeah.
You find yourself at these crossroads all the time. And the only thing that sort of makes those crossroads easier is how many conversations have you had with him up to that point?
Right.
Because then it's just like your mom calling you from upstairs or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I mean, I when I was a kid, like you knew the sound of your mom's sigh.
Yeah, right.
So you didn't even have to speak.
You were tuned in.
Yep. You knew the sound of Dad coming home from work. You knew the smell of Grandma's meatballs. You knew these things, because you were around them, and because you went to those places for comfort. And that's where we have to go with him. We have to go and speak to him and get his voice and his language so deeply ingrained in us that no matter where we look, or no matter what we feel, or no matter how much chaos is being thrown at us or sown into our lives by evil forces, that we can just go, I'll tell you guys something. Sometimes I keep these things to myself, and sometimes I share them. Sometimes I think the things that God speaks into my life are just for me. And, but as I was just speaking those words, it was impressed upon me that I should share with you that, I had a moment once where recently, where I stepped into a space where I might have otherwise felt uncomfortable and was sort of expecting that feeling. And I was sort of praying, and I was just like, God, I want you to take this away from me. I want you to take this off my heart. And I had a vision with my eyes closed, and I could see the hand of Jesus in this vision. And all of these things that I was giving power to, I saw his hand in this, with my eyes closed, I saw his hand just go like this. And and the knowing that I had in my heart was crumbs off a table. To him, these were crumbs. Just. And all I had to do, as long as I was in his grasp, it was nothing compared to his power. It was such an overwhelming relief, you know. All of these things that grab us and tackle us all the time that seem so powerful, they're only powerful because we've given them that power. If you take those things to the feet of God, crumbs off a table. That's it. And it's so true. And why do we struggle so hard to do it? We are a prideful bunch.
Yes.
And that's the thing. We want to be the smart ones. We want to figure stuff out. We want to pat ourselves on the back. And where does that lead us? I was born a joker. I'd always laugh when I should cry. Baby boy who's older, a baby face that would be like. Mama was a singer, more than a voice, she had a call. Mama gave me 3 things, the other 2 I can't recall. She said he's standing on the mountain, a lonesome river in his hands. He's standing on the mountain, though too few will understand why he's standing on the mountain when they're sure that he can fly. He's standing on the mountain 'cause that's where the dirt does touch the sky. They say that you find Jesus, just close your eyes and look real hard. But now that you found Jesus, you gotta let him in your heart. 'Cause he's standing on the mountain, a lonesome river in his hands. He's standing on the mountain, though too few will understand why he's standing on the mountain when they're sure that he can fly. He's standing on the mountain 'cause that's where the dirt does touch the sky. He's standing on the mountain 'cause that's where the dirt does touch the sky. He's standing on the mountain 'cause that's where the dirt does touch the sky. I'm going to sing. Do you know? Did you hold that over from the last show, or is Amy watching tonight?
I think she is actually. I think I saw her name on there. So yeah, so Amy, we were going to play. She had sent in some requests, and we were going to play at least one of them on Thursday. So I told her to tune in, and she did. But obviously, that was a bust.
Thursday night was a bust. But you know what, Amy? I've been thinking about you, and I you know, Amy is. She holds a very special place in our hearts. She traveled up here from a very long distance to tell us a story of healing, a miraculous story of healing that took place in her life. That, my music got to be a very special part of. And I think about it from time to time, and it always makes me... I don't know, it makes me feel very small, but in a really good way.
Yeah.
Because God is so very big. And Amy, you just, your testimony found its way into my heart. We've shared Amy's testimony on the previous show. But she was miraculously healed of a brain tumor. And somewhere within that story, the Lord used one of my songs to sort of help guide her to safety.
Yeah.
In a moment that could have gone so many different ways, but for His hand.
Mm-hmm.
And this song is so powerful that I'm about to sing. And it does not surprise me at all that God chose this language to be the arms that carried you for that moment. And what a blessing that I ever get to sing these words. Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand, 'cause I am tired and I am weak. I am worn through the storm, through the night. Lead me on to the light. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. When my way grows drear, precious Lord, linger near. When my life, it is almost gone, Lord, it's gone. Hear my cry and hear my call. Hold my hand, Lord, lest I fall. Just take my hand, Precious Lord, lead me home. When the darkness it appears and the night it draws near, when the day it is past and gone, Lord, it's gone. At the river I stand, got my feet and hold my hand. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. All right. How's everybody doing out there?
Everybody's good.
Good, good, good. Feeling in a very prayerful place tonight.
Yeah.
That's sort of the mood that settled in on me here.
Yep.
And I'm so grateful for all of you out there who watch us and lift us up in prayer. We feel those prayers. We feel it very, very strongly. And I hope you feel ours for you. I hope you sort of receive all of the sort of the prayers and the love that we want you to feel from us. You know what? Some prayers from my beautiful wife, because she hurt her thumb very badly today, and I had to, it's bandaged up. She's got an ace bandage
true.
on that thing.
Yeah.
And
I'm down one digit up here trying to,
she's up there running a whole show with one hand. She's amazing. Took my girls out to, Carrie was spending some time with my mom last night. And so I took the two girls out to a nice restaurant.
Yes.
One of our favorite places, Grinnell's in the city. My dear friend Craig works there, and so I took the girls out to a fancy dinner last night, as we felt like. And so it was just me and the two girls, and the girls, so I go and, they don't have a kids menu there. And so, the girls have been, like most kids, it's chicken fingers, it's macaroni and cheese, it's pizza. Right. That's they like. So none of that stuff was on the menu. And we're sitting there, and Gracie said to me, she's like, I don't know what to get. I don't know what to do. And I was trying to explain to her the dishes that were on there, and I sort of settled in on describing what chicken parmesan is.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, well, that sounds good. I'll try that. And you would have thought that I introduced her to Disneyland. She was like, what is happening? I said, it's pretty good, right? And so she cuts off a big piece of it in her pasta, and she gives it to Emmy. And Emmy's our little girl who eats. She's the picky one.
Yes.
She won't. In fact, what I ordered for her at dinner was just spaghetti with butter on it. And when it arrived at the table, it had just a little sprinkling of parsley on it, and she wouldn't eat it. So that's where she was. So
Right.
Gracie takes off a hunk of this chicken and some spaghetti and puts on a little plate and gives it to her. Emmy eats it right up, and they were just so thrilled that now they have like an adult. It was their
Like
first
an adult
adult.
meal. Yeah.
Like, I could see Gracie was already like, so what ended up happening was, I don't know why I'm telling this story, but it was amusing to me, and I wanted to lift the mood a little bit. So last night, late, at night, we were, Carrie got home from being with my mom very late, and so I had brought home some chicken French for her, which she ate, and hers looked so good, and I was hungry, and so I ate Gracie's chicken parmesan leftovers. And so this morning, Carrie and I are having our coffee, and Gracie just comes bounding down the stairs, practically singing Zippity Doo Dah.
Yeah.
And so we're just having our coffee. And we're like, hey, Gracie, what's going on? Why are you so happy? She's like, I'm just waiting for 12 o'clock when I can eat my chicken parmesan leftovers.
Actually, it was even worse than that. She's like, I didn't eat breakfast.
Right.
Because I wanted to make sure I was really hungry for lunch when I can eat my chicken parmesan leftovers.
So it was a daddy fail. And I'm living with the aftermath today. She was a good sport about it. I had to promise to take her out and get chicken parmesan in the future.
All right.
It also made me reflect on
Some choices.
some of my choices, some of my failings. And so it was just so sweet, though. I swear, she's like,
She's so excited. I know.
what's going on? I got to have my chicken parmesan.
And for a moment, she was heartbroken.
Yeah.
And then she took a deep breath and got over it.
In our defense, typically the children don't eat their leftovers. Like
They
that's
never
sort of
do.
we do it so that they don't go bad. So I, in my I thought I was doing a good thing. No, I can't say that. But I didn't know she wanted it. But I can't exactly say I thought I was doing a good thing. Eating chicken parmesan at 11 o'clock is never a good thing.
Yeah. That's never the right choice.
It's never the right choice. Oh, Lord. And I'm not because I'm being compensated in any way, Grinnell's is a wonderful restaurant.
It really is.
That struggled very hard during the pandemic, and kudos to them for finding a way to stay open because it was hard because they were closed down for a really good long period of time.
Yeah.
And they found a way through, and it's the best chicken French I've ever had.
So far, like in the area, I can't think of a better one.
And I'm putting the chicken parmesan was right there.
See, I can't not get the chicken French when we go, so I'm
that's
probably
the problem.
never going to try anything else there. But
So if anybody wants to go out to dinner one night, yeah, Grinnell's in the city. It's fantastic. All right, how about this one? This is going out. By the way, this is for Nikki. Nikki requested this one for tonight. this world I walk alone, with no place to call my home. But there's one who holds my hand, the rugged road through barren lands. The way is dark, the road is steep, but he's become my eyes to see, the strength to climb, my griefs to bear. The Savior lives inside me there. In your love I find relief, a haven from my unbelief. Take my life and let me be a living prayer, my God, to thee. In these trials of life I find another voice inside my mind. It comforts me and bids me live inside the love the Father gives. In your love I find relief, a haven from my unbelief. Take my life and let me be a living prayer, my God, to thee. Take my life and let me be a living prayer, my God, to thee. The song was written by Ron Block, and he is just an amazing songwriter. He sort of captures the elements of a faith in Christ so beautifully, and he weaves them into these wonderfully poetic words and images and stories. He plays in Alison Krauss's Union Station band, and they are...
I remember them playing that song on, it was like Jay Leno or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the
Yes.
first time I ever heard it, and I was shocked to hear it on that show, and I just fell in love with it.
You know, I was thinking about this actually earlier today, is how there are certain people, like there's certain people and certain moments when you can sort of, where God sort of paves the way for you to just, you sort of bring him into a place where you otherwise wouldn't see him.
Where otherwise wouldn't be welcome.
Yes.
But for some reason.
And I'm always fascinated when those moments arise.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I always remember when I was really starting to deepen and strengthen my relationship with God, that I thought maybe I should just sing Christian music. And I thought, well, I'm going to sort of set down all of these other songs that I sing and write in favor of just singing songs about God and Jesus. And why shouldn't I? What else? You know, there was a period where I thought, geez, what else is worth singing about? You know?
Yeah.
And I went about trying to figure out, okay, so if I'm just going to sing Christian music, where am I going to go and sing it? You know? And there's wonderful outlets and there's ways to do it, but the truth is, most of the time when you're singing exclusively Christian music, you are preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
And which there's nothing wrong with. That's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Singing music that strengthens people's faith is, in my opinion, a very noble pursuit. And so that was where I was going. And God, through prayer, said to me, no. You are exactly where I want you.
Yeah.
Because I've been able to sort of sneak into places where I wouldn't have otherwise been allowed and share God's share God. And it was just amazing to me. But, you know, I felt like maybe that was an important thing because I was willing to sort of lay it all down and just say, nope, and it was him who said, no, you're where I want you to be. And I wonder if that would have been the case had I not been willing to walk away.
Yeah. Well, because I think there are some who have an unhealthy attachment to certain things, like the secular music that we listen to, or that you perform, where it takes on more of a worshipful place in their life, you know, where it is a hard thing to set aside. And for you, while you do love and appreciate that music, it's something you're able to set aside. It doesn't have a place of importance in your life that is above God.
No.
And that's important.
Because that's such a dangerous thing, and it's so easy to put things ahead of God. And I never, you know, even my music, I just never thought that I never wanted. You know, you start out when you're wanting to be I wanted to be a singer, and, you know, I don't even know exactly what my reasoning was. I'm sure there were reasons. There was sort of ego in there. There always has to be some amount of ego in there because that's that little where it's sort of like you're just stupid enough to get on stage and have the courage to actually get up there and perform in front of people. So there always is like a little bit of ego in there because you need to feel at least good enough to do that.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
But I don't know what it was all about. But what I did realize very early on in my life was that the moments when I was happiest playing music and the moments where I felt like it was the most meaningful is where the music sort of fell away to just being a vehicle for connecting with another human being or connecting with God or both. You know, it's like when something is at its best, in a way it sort of disappears. It's like watching a dancer, you know, like a beautiful ballet dancer or something. And, you know, at some point their skill and their training has gotten them to a place where that the dance that itself sort of just disappears and falls away, and all the work behind it just disappears, and you're someplace else, you know? I guess the key is to make sure that someplace else that you're taking people is him.
Yeah.
So, just some reflections. I'm going to sing this next song for Sheila, and she requested this one specifically that I dedicate this to the people, just the innocence of this Ukraine conflict, and to the people of Ukraine. that they continue to have the strength to know where to look in this awful time for them. I pray you'll be our eyes and watch us where we go, and help us to be wise in times when we don't know. Let this be our prayer when we lose our way. Lead us to a place and guide us with your grace. Give us strength so we'll be safe. I pray we'll find your light and hold it in our hearts. When stars go out each night, I know you will take our part. And let this be our prayer when shadows fill our day. Lead us to a place and guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll be safe. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy most holy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. We ask that life be kind and watch us from above. We hope each soul will find another soul to love. And let this be our prayer, just like every child needs to find a place. Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be saved. Well, I'd like to thank everybody so much for watching us tonight. I'm so grateful for, as you watch what's going on in the world, I'm so grateful for a safe place where there aren't, bombs going off and there aren't people running for their lives. I'm grateful that I have for every moment that I get to sing to you and for you. And so grateful for those blessings. So, I think we all join together in lifting up our prayers to God that He keeps the people who are at war, keep them safe. And remember that when our physical safety is in jeopardy, we can always find safety in the arms of our loving God, Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. We'll be back again on Thursday night. Yeah, that's all. God bless everybody. Good night.